on and 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 on forever. They basically surrounded the Barkley Center. There wasn't some hundreds. There were thousands out there. And you know what? I'm proud of them. Because this is what happens when the media fails to do its job. When the media strings up Kyrie Irving at the behest of the puppet masters, the people should rally up and support him. Because the media is failing to do its job. They don't have one shred of evidence of Kyrie Irving saying anything anti-Semitic. Not one thing. He retweeted a movie poster. And someone in the media with some common sense and a platform should have called BS on Joseph's side and the whole overreaction by the NBA and all these stipulations, and we got to re-educate Kyrie. But if the media is a coward and bought and paid for, thank God, and I don't care what religion they practice, thank God some men showed up and showed some support for Kyrie Irving.
What up with the YouTube world? Is Coffee on the Vid, back with another one of you guys here. Jason Whitlock there speaking out in support of Kyrie Irving. I see a lot of individuals commenting, shocked that Jason Whitlock is, in support of Kyrie Irving. Now, I don't really watch a lot of Jason Whitlock stuff. I do from time to time. I don't go out of my way to not watch it. I know he's a very controversial, member of the sports media world and all that. But I just don't find myself watching a lot of his stuff. You know what I mean? But you heard his take. He says it's bullshit, more or less. That Kyrie simply retweeted, apologies, y'all, a movie poster, which is true. And, everything went from there. Kyrie has spoke his piece about the situation, even issued an apology, but nonetheless, still things have transpired since then, and it was wild. You heard Whitlock just flat out say the puppet masters behind this. It's just definitely been a crazy situation. Comment and let me know what your thoughts are regarding what he said there. Whitlock stepping in support of Kyrie and the whole puppet masters comment. I'm very intrigued to hear everyone's take on that. But prior to this situation, comment everyone and let me know if you feel like this situation kind of came off from the situation and controversy that Kanye West was embroiled in, regarding his comments. Like that's what developed into this situation, I believe, in a sense, was kind of the catalyst. And now, in the wake of all of this controversy going on, we see this older Sports Illustrated cover with Charles Barkley here. And I mean, for a million, I don't think I really even have to articulate why this is controversial, offensive, shocking, etc. I believe that goes without saying. But I was shocked. Like, I truly didn't remember this. Jump in, the comment section below and let me know if you did. I really did not. But I'm looking at this like this was just a very bad idea, in my opinion, But Charles Barkley has spoke before about it. I'm going to play a clip, but I don't know why, like, a comment below when you see this, in my head, I'm like, this was a long time ago, right? I mean, obviously, Charles, aside from just seeing something so insane like this being put on a magazine cover, that obviously the society, like the world must have been different. I feel like we would never see that today. Charles Barkley does look younger and all that. I'm like, okay, so this guy, but then I was surprised to find out this was in 2002. Yes, 20 years ago. But still, it was like, I don't know, it just felt more recent than that I thought it would be when hearing of this, you know what I mean? And seeing the cover, like, I was just surprised to hear that this happened in 2002.
Any regrets or second thoughts about the Sports Illustrated cover, Charles Unchained?
No. It's interesting. I get so frustrated when I go speak at predominantly white schools. I do this like little social experiment. And I said, well, how many of you guys, this is at a predominantly white school. I said, how many of you guys want to play in the NBA? Less than 5% raised their hand. And I said, what do you want to do? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an engineer. When I go to predominantly black schools, I said, how many of y'all want to play in the NBA or play sports? It's like 95%. And I'm like, you're not going to play. I'm saying this to myself. But that's the reason I made the role model commercial. To start a debate. And I don't mind, I love talking about that. As far as I get so sick of, on the Sports Illustrated chain thing. I get so upset when people try to, first of all, it's racial. It's not, to me, it's racial. Like, anytime I say something, they're like, oh, it's controversial. And I says, wait a minute, I don't think what I said was that controversial. I think it has something to do with my blackness. Like when I say stuff, it's like, you're not supposed to say that. And that's when I came up with
and you get it from both sides too, by the way. It's
I know.
White people saying that. It's African Americans who say that.
We're talking like Russell Wilson, he's not black enough, which is asinine. Everybody should want to be like Russell. He's a wonderful man. I saw somebody talk about, these guys are so removed from blackness. Like, we still are black. We didn't.
If you're too black, that's also a problem.
Yeah, when you're too black, yeah. It's these guys, they don't know what it's like to be black. Well, yes, we do. I'm talking about some guy was criticizing Kobe when he was talking about Eric Garner. Talking about, well, this guy, what does he know about being black? I'm like, it's crazy. It's like, it's draining energy sometimes. You're not black enough. You're too black enough. You're too removed. I mean, there's so much noise coming at you. You're like, me and my friends, like, this is exhausting being black,
All right, so you hear a brief excerpt from an interview that Barkley did regarding that magazine cover, and you see on the cover there, it says something to the extent of, well, not just the extent of. Let's actually read what it says on the cover here. Sports Illustrated, March 11, 2002. It says Charles Unchained. Still, like, okay, I get it. I get the saying unchained. Like, I've heard that terminology used before when someone just speaks out, like nothing holding the individual back. You know what I mean? Like uncensored. I'm just coming all out saying what I gotta say, but it's just still like I just don't understand why they would use this imagery, and I'm a bit shocked too that Charles Barkley thought that it was a good idea. I don't know, but you heard what he said in the clip there. Again, share your thoughts and, everything else in this video, as always, or if you're new, that's just what it's all about over here, hearing everyone's thoughts, taking opinion. As always, it's how I always describe the interaction on this channel, what I look for when I make the videos, like, let's just talk. Then it says, every black kid thinks the only way he can be successful is through athletics. That is a terrible thing. That's a quote from Barkley. And then at the bottom of the magazine there, cover, it says, living large and holding forth on everything from his golf, money, and politics to Michael Jordan, TV, sports, and Enron. So, I don't know. There you have it. Very ridiculous choice of imagery again, I think. But you heard Barkley. He was into some things about being a role model and going around and speaking to the youth and students and, the future generations of America. And, how when he would ask, what do you want to be when you grow up, that athlete was a more popular choice than, I forget what example he used there as opposed to sports or athletics. But he didn't really say much about he spoke about doing that cover, but he, other than just saying it was controversial and etc. He didn't really say what his thought process was. You know what I mean? I don't know. But it's just wild to think, out of the magazine, the owners of the magazine, their whole staff, Charles Barkley, his team. When I say his team, I mean his publicists or, people that he, you know, um, speaks to about decisions in his career and, you know what I mean? His family, his actual teammates, or just it's shocking. No one said, hey, Barkley, don't do that, man. But nonetheless, you heard it. You heard what he had to say there. But something else I wanted to share with you guys regarding sports, more sports entertainment. We're talking about pro wrestling, another situation where some very controversial stuff went down. But it's wild. It's no signs of it anywhere on the internet. I can't find a picture, a clip, or anything. But for pro wrestling fans, this is anyone who's a fan of wrestling and has been watching over the years. Hey, again, Jay Millie, shout out to you, my friend. Definitely want to hear your take all on this. Jay Millie is a regular viewer of Jay Coffee Talk channel. We collab on stuff and, do little podcasts together and everything like that. And he's indeed a wrestling fan. So anyone new that's to the channel here, that's who I was just speaking to there. But there is a situation with the tag team Harlem Heat, right? They're a massively successful tag team, one of the biggest of all time. Amazing in the ring, amazing athletes, had much success. I believe even individuals who aren't really fans of professional wrestling, I'm sure, know who Harlem Heat is. But before they, were the Harlem Heat that we know today, there was a very, very flucked up, controversial gimmick storyline that they, were going to do in their debut where they came out in chains. And nonetheless, it got even crazier. Their original manager, I'm going to play a clip for you guys, though, with one half of Harlem Heat, Stevie Ray, brother of Booker T, their real life brothers. He's speaking about this and says that the Colonel Parker, who is a, individual who managed wrestlers and kind of talked like Foghorn Leghorn, reminded you of a character off like, what's that called? Oh, the Dukes of Hazzard. Not really a show I watched like that. I watched the movie when they, redid it in the early to mid 2000s or whatever, 05, 06, I believe it was somewhere around there. But, he kind of, a real Southern country white dude from the South who reminded some people of a plantation owner. Okay. But Stevie Ray says that, originally he was not supposed to manage them, although he did manage the team later on, like when they were big and were on Monday Nitro. He co-managed them with another individual, Sensational Sherry, Sister Sherry, whatever you want to call her. She went by many names, but let's listen to what he has to say. So that's just a clip of what he had to say, but you heard him. He actually says that it was his and his brother's idea to do that gimmick, and it wasn't supposed to be anything pertaining to slavery, that it was supposed to be like they were put in jail unjustly and were, breaking out of the chains more or less to come dominate the professional wrestling world and everything. And the Colonel wasn't supposed to be a part of their team. And, when he did come out with them, that comment, guys, that's what it sounded like Stevie Ray was saying to me, that with what people were seeing and then the Colonel being with them, it kind of changed the way it all looked. You heard him mention Junkyard Dog. They were going to wear something similar to a dog collar. I don't know. Again, this is something that's been spoke of in podcasts and discussed over the years. But again, I've never seen any video or actual pictures of it. But we know it happened. We believe it happened. They spoke of it themselves, but I don't know. You heard the way Stevie Ray was talking about it, but it just sounded like he was trying to say, man, that's not what it was supposed to look like. It got plucked up or whatever. But nonetheless, man, another controversial situation. And, that gimmick was dropped immediately. And, they came out as Harlem Heat, which never made sense. They were from Texas, but were Harlem Heat. I don't know. But my whole point bringing all that up was you know, regarding the Charles Barkley cover. I just really think, in my opinion, again, I'm interested to know everyone else's opinion, that seeing that kind of imagery and references to slavery and stuff like that, you know, it's highly offensive. I hope it's never used in pop culture or sports world or the entertainment world or anything. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I went on a field trip. My school took me to see Amistad. You know what I mean? That was the story of, in a quick summarization, you know, slaves breaking free on a slave ship headed for America. And when the boat, you know, came here, they were charged in court for like murder and stuff like that. It's a crazy story. And, you know, it's telling the story of historical events that happened. And, you know, his history is what it is. It's a fact that happened. I'm babbling on a bit here. You know, I'm just kind of trying to lay all this commentary again to hear from all you guys. But in the pro wrestling situation, according to, again, Stevie Ray, who is a member of that team, you know, he says it was his idea that got his and his brother's idea that got fucked up. But in this other situation, you know, that it wasn't supposed to appear that way, but it did. But in this situation with Charles Barkley, um, I just can't quite understand why he did this, and just how, again, no one from his team or himself or Sports Illustrated as a whole or anything to that extent just said, yo, this is a bad idea. Let's not do this. But I don't know. Maybe other people feel other ways. Jump in the comments below. You know, interested to hear your thoughts about Kyrie, what Jason Whitlock said, Kanye, Barkley, the cover, the pro wrestling angle, everything. Let's discuss it all below. You know what I mean? Were you shocked to find, like, did you recall that magazine cover already? Were you shocked to find that it was in 2002? Would you have thought it would have been longer ago? Um, you know, let's speak on it all. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. More videos talking music, news, sports, and more. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.